Includes key battleground states. Harold just mentioned Georgia is one of the first ones we're going to be watching. We have reporters literally everywhere as our special coverage continues.
Well, Americans are voting all across 6 p.m. the country. Our first results about to come in at the top of the hour. In some polling places, they are experiencing some hiccups. Senior correspondent Eric Shawn has more on that from our New York City newsroom. Good evening, Eric.
Good evening, Brett. Well, you know, it is the day that America votes, and officials say that the process, well, now it's largely going smoothly, but they say there are some sporadic incidents. In Michigan, 2 people were arrested for making election threats. One against former President Trump and Christian conservatives. Another one charged with targeting a Democratic organization. The FBI also says false bomb threats in Georgia originated with a Russian email address. The Bureau also warning about fake videos on social media. One telling voters to cast ballots remotely because of a supposed high terrorist threat. Another claim that there's voter fraud at prisons. All not true, says the Bureau tonight. And former President Trump on Truth Social claims there is, quote, a lot of talk about massive cheating in Philadelphia. Law enforcement coming. But Philadelphia District Attorney Larry Krasner responds to that, saying, quote, the only talk about massive cheating has come from one of the candidates, Donald J. Trump. There is no factual basis whatsoever within law enforcement to support this wild allegation. If Donald J. Trump has any facts to support his wild allegations, we want them now. Right now. We are not holding our breath. And the Republican city commissioner there also says that claim by the former president is not true. He calls it disinformation. And disinformation does continue to pop up on social media. One Pennsylvania viewer alerted us to a Facebook post that appeared to show a ballot that already had a small mark in the box for Harris. The viewer feared his Trump vote would not be counted. We traced that alleged ballot to Kentucky, where the Secretary of State's office told us that the ballot is an apparent fake. So the lesson from all this, they say, be careful of what you read on social media. Brett?
Okay, Eric, thank you.
So meanwhile, the election has already ignited a flurry of legal challenges. Let's bring in Shannon Bream and Carrie Irvin, 2 of the best, to tell us how they are seeing all of this. What really stands out at this point? We've heard a lot of these sort of smaller matters, but what should we be paying attention to?
Well,
Shannon?
the Supreme Court, the last thing they want to do is get pulled into this. The justices are going about their normal business. They heard cases this morning that have nothing to do with the election, but they are ready at any time for emergency calls that come into them. They operate 24/7 around the clock. And so while they hope this doesn't come to their door, they've had to deal with a couple things out of Pennsylvania and Virginia, and they're ready if that happens this time around.
Yeah, Carrie, some of it is about ballots that come in later, whether they'll stay open. These are all judicial decisions eventually.
I would say the focus of the DNC has been on access to mail-in ballots and the amount of mail-in ballots that are available. The RNC is focused, to your point, on the rules governing those mail-in ballots and to make sure the administration of such is going smoothly. I will say, though, there is a marked difference this time around than there was in 2020. I think the RNC and other groups have brought a lot of serious cases, serious challenges, because I think the country has gotten wiser to the fact that the administration of elections leading up to the election is very important.
And we should point out, these states, the secretaries of state, they've done a really good job overall. I mean, we haven't seen a ton of incidents, to Eric's point earlier.
Yeah, they had 4 years to figure out what didn't go right in 2020 and all the litigation and the messes that came from that. And there's still litigation related to people who were involved with some of those claims in 2020. So what they wanted to do in many states we've seen, they streamlined it. They streamlined the court process. Carrie and I have been going through these all day today. Many of them have been filed in Pennsylvania, but quickly, responsibly, they've been done well. They've been serious, and we've seen judges act on them quickly today, which helps everyone.
Thank you all.
We hope that continues.
We may be back.
Thank you very much.
The first polls are about to close in a half dozen states. Those results, early results, just minutes away as our special coverage continues on Fox.
Countdown clock there. We're closing in on 7 p.m. Eastern, and that is when we will get our first poll closings in half a dozen states. We'll have to wait another hour to get the first glimpse of the blue wall, the trio of states that could hold the key to 270. Pennsylvania obviously is among them. They will be the first to close at 8 p.m. Eastern, and Team Fox coverage is in Wisconsin. Grady Trimble is in Michigan. But first, let's go to Alexandria Hoff, who we find in Morrisville, Pennsylvania. Hi, Alexandria.
Hi, good to be with you. We're here in Bucks County, and that is really the premier county to watch here in Pennsylvania. It is densely populated, 650,000 people. President Biden won it by 4 points in 2020.